Nice to meet you. We are really happy to have the next lesson with you.
How are you doing? I hope you're not getting bored with your holidays. In order to fulfill your holiday with full of pleasure and entertainment, we decided to cover distance lessons. And let's start. And in order...
What we are talking about today?
Okay, the topic of discussion is a little bit secret for the beginning because I want yours and listeners guessing the topic. Are you ready? Let's start. So, to begin with, I would like to focus your attention to the pictures on the screen and predict what kind of people are they, or to bring your ideas about these people. So, are you ready? So, let's help me with the first picture. What do you think about the people in the first picture?
Okay, if I give my opinion about the first picture. So, they are looking nice, very wise, as they have much more experience than us, and as they are hugging each other, they're friends maybe, and jolly mood.
Okay, and now let's help me with the second picture. What do you think about a girl in the second picture?
Well, unlike the first picture, she looks like much more younger, teenager. Of course, smiling face, holding basket of grapes, and young, of course, beautiful in this card. Maybe she's showing here our tradition, our mentality maybe.
And how about the man in the third picture?
Yes, the man also, looking at his appearance, we can decide that he's also from Asia, maybe Uzbek. And why Uzbek? Because he is holding his hand like this, and then it means that in our tradition, showing our hospitality.
Good job. And how about the last picture?
Yes, from his appearance, we know very well who is he. He is great football champion, and he looks brave and smiling again. And our mood, of course, very raises as we see him.
Good job. So, dear listeners, perhaps you have more ideas, but here are some adjectives which my colleague used in her speech and which perhaps you to help you to describe these people. Of course, looking at the people from the first picture, the idea that they are kind, experienced, wise, and perhaps their friends comes to you, and these words are used by my colleague, and you have perhaps you have more ideas. All ideas are welcome. The next lady, she is young, cheerful, and sociable, and some more words are used by my friend as well. And the next person, looking at his like a way of standing and his face mimics, you may guess that he's middle-aged person, and he's of course hospital as my colleague used, and he's kind, cheerful, and generous. And the next person, like he's young, sportsman, brave, and as he's sportsman, he's sociable because he has to participate in different sport events. And
so good. Let's clarify some of the meaning of the words.
Yeah, okay.
For example, I have every time confusion in terms of the experience and advice. I sometimes confuse where they can be used and what do they stand for.
Okay, experienced people are people with lots of experience, and they gain lots of experience due to life experience. These people are always ready to give good and right advice. Wise people, it's also like a lifetime gaining, and they can make a good decisions and they can do wise decisions as well. And how about?
We use synonyms for the word kind. Do we have more synonyms for this word?
Kind is a little bit different because we may use it as a generous person or polite or gentle people. And it's not connected with experience, but these two words are connected with experiences as well.
Thank you.
Okay, and any more clarifications would you like to?
So, how about cheerful? Is it always used for positive meaning or it also can be negative as well?
If I'm not mistaken, it is used in positive meaning. A person who always enjoys life, a person who likes to fulfill the atmosphere with lots of enjoy and pleasure. So we may use it as a joyful person as well.
Thank you.
Okay, and come on, my friend, sorry. How about me? What idea came to you? What was your first impression about me? Can you share?
Well, if I first speak about your appearance, let's say, so you look nice.
Thank you.
Intelligent.
Thank you.
So how about the inner character? I mean, sometimes people may be confused in terms of appearance, I mean, first impression. But I think as you are smiling and your eyes are also, let's say, bright, so that I think that your appearance and the inside character, they should be equal. So I think you are a sociable person, cheerful person.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you ask my...
How about me?
So I also think about you that you are cheerful and you are so kind.
Thank you.
But I think you are a little bit impatient person.
Why
Am
you
I
say
right?
so?
Because of your speed of speech, you are a little bit in a hurry. Am I right?
Yeah, actually you are right. Thank you for telling me the truth.
Thank you too. And can you guess a topic?
So, as you asked me to describe the pictures, and they are in different ages, so I think we will talk about people and personality. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. We will talk about people and personality, and specifically we will talk about first impressions. And dear listeners, I am Yakut Sharipova and she is
Kamola Raimova.
and we are from Uzbekistan State World Languages University. Let's start our lesson. Are you ready? So, and Kamola, I will bother you a little bit with questions today.
I am ready.
Okay, and I would like to ask your opinion. When you look at someone, what makes you to think that they are dangerous people?
Okay, interesting question.
Dangerous means like a harmful and...
So even though people are dangerous, sometimes they pretend as if they are genius, let's say. But sometimes this thing cannot be shown with the eyes, let's say, it can be vice versa. It is shown actually with the eyes. Or with the, let's say, eyebrows, frown face, let's say, or the mimics, let's say, hand gestures, let's say. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You're right with all ideas, and as listeners, I think you have more ideas. But my surveys before coming here showed, in addition to your ideas, people think that dangerous people usually wear black clothes, usually with a hood.
Is this kind of psychological point of view?
That is not psychological point of, but I think it's their behavior or nature, and they try to hide themselves under black clothes. It is like the results of my questionnaire, and I think that is what people think. And the next one, the same question: what makes you to think that people are greedy? So, do you know the meaning of the word greedy?
No, can you explain me? What does it stand for?
Greedy means mean, not generous. Okay, is it clear?
Yes,
And
I know.
what do you think?
So greedy people, sometimes they, as I mentioned, they can pretend as if they are your close friend, let's say, that they are ready for everything. But when it comes to kind of problems in terms of money or finance, let's say, they pretend again that they don't have kind of condition to help you. So I think for this kind of situations we can use this word. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. And I also wanted to mention one famous greedy character from the novel of by Sadr Denaimi. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a character named Qora Ishkamba. And he was greedy, and his greedy character or personality was described that he used to put on lots of clothes on himself. Do you remember this person?
Yes, I can also give example about our nation traditional fairy tale, Zumrat and Qammat, let's say. Yes. She also became victim because of her greedy character.
Yes,
I mean,
Qammat.
Qammat.
Yes, Qammat and his mother. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good job. And the next adjective that we are going to use to describe the personality of people by first impression is intelligent. So what do you think? What makes you think that this person is an intelligent person?
So intelligent to the way of the dressing, let's say, style, clothes, hairstyle, let's say. Sometimes not only appearance, but also the way of the implementing something. For example, let's say how the way of speaking, the way of introducing something, or the manner of answering. This is also shows the intelligence, knowledge.
Yeah, but you cannot imagine what showed my research, like a survey results.
Yes.
Majority of people think or associate intelligence with eyeglasses. So people with eyeglasses are considered as an intelligent person. Can you imagine? Okay, so, and the next word, kind, also generous, yeah? What do you think, what makes you to think that this person is kind, polite, or gentle?
So I think face mimics.
Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes they cannot hide their emotions, let's say. They can easily cry, they can show their tears, let's say, or happy, let's say, friendly, hospitable people. Emotional people, right.
Yes, you are right. And my research results also show the same, but they also associate kindness with a smile. So they smile it by showing their teeth especially. They mentioned that teeth should be seen. I don't know why, but that is what other people think. Okay, and the next one, what makes you to think that the person is not so smart?
Actually, this is a good question. I think that those people who are speaking without thinking, what comes to their mind, they speak spontaneously. And I think that they are not so smart enough.
Yeah. So you may use the silly at the same time in order to express not so smart. And you are right, like the way of speaking expresses a person, is he smart or not so smart. Okay, and the next word is crazy. What do you think? What makes you to think that this person is a crazy person?
Yes, it is again funny question for me. Why? Sometimes crazy can be in terms of funny situation, whereas on the other hand, it can be just the direct meaning.
Yes.
So if my friend, let's say, wants to joke with me, I can say you are crazy. And sometimes people can be real crazy people, let's say, and it can be associated with the previous word like not smart.
Yeah.
Or crazy people.
Okay, there's a way of behaving expresses that they are crazy or not so smart. Sometimes they just speak without thinking. Are they harming people or not? And they also kind of behave themselves without thinking. Sometimes they can also be little bit silly with gestures and so on. Good job. So, and the next word is generous. It's also a synonym of kind, but generous also means like you are not miserable. You like to share everything you have with people. And what do you think? What makes you to think about the person? You are seeing this person for the first time, and what makes you to think that this person is generous person?
So, as I mentioned, for the word kind, I think in terms of the behavior, hand gestures, mimics, let's say, we can easily find whether he's generous or mean. Yes.
Yeah. And my survey results showed that people think that generous people are helpful people. They're always ready to give their helping hand, no matter what kind of person is he or she. Do they know it? Do they know this person before, or do they know it for the first time? Okay, so, and now let's turn to the next part of the activity. Dear listeners, if you have more ideas, you are welcome with your ideas by sharing your ideas in our social media. And so, I want to focus your attention to the following words, to the following expressions as well, which is shown in a screen.
I think they are all connected with the topic people and personality, right?
Yes,
they are all
connected
associated, right?
with the first impressions. And
What we should do, Yakut, Miss Yakut, can you give instruction?
yeah, so listeners, your task is to look at the expressions and try to guess their possible meaning, and then try to match these words with the appropriate definition which is given in a screen. So the definitions are expressed as A to F. Okay, Miss Kamala, can you try to do it yourself? What do you think? Which expression matches with to talk without pause or interruption?
So talk without pause, interruption. I think it is talk non-stop. Talking non-stop, fastly, let's say, without any pause, let's say. Exactly this, I think.
Okay, how about you? Listeners, would you like to check it? Okay, let's check. You are right.
So,
talking non-stop means talking without pauses. And which of the adjectives which are used in above expresses the type of people or the type of personality? What do you think?
Non-stop speakers, you mean?
Yeah.
So chatty people, maybe, or the expressions, the words which you explained before.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they are not smart people.
Not smart.
Yes, not smart, crazy people. As we all both mentioned, that they usually write talking, but they cannot realize what they're talking about.
And how about the next definition? Something
So
that
how
has
about
already
you
been-
yourself?
Okay, something that has already been decided and won't change. It's a done deal. Okay, so that means like you made the decision already and you cannot change it.
With which word which we mentioned we can associate it as synonym?
Okay, so if we look through that, intelligent people, they do a done deal or they make a done deal because they think thoroughly before making any deal. Okay, or it can be opposite, like not smart people, like make decisions without doing a deal. Okay, so how about the next one? To make a decision.
To make a decision, yes. Audience, will you help me? How about you think? To make decision. I think it's the first one, to make one's mind up.
Let's check. You are absolutely right. So to make a decision also can be used as an expression, to make one's mind up. So, and I think intelligent people, they just always do, they always make their done deal.
They think before speaking, yes?
Yeah. Okay, and the next one, that is a question for you exactly, audience. So the impressions you get about someone when you meet them. For example, what you think of their behavior or appearance. Which phrase which is mentioned or which expression which is mentioned in a box associates with the or matches with the.
We ask you to find all of them, look through, try to think carefully, and of course, think about the previous mentioned vocabulary, and then try to find out by clear concentration.
So, we hope you have finished it, and are you ready to check? Let's check. Coming across or to come across means like it's the impression you get about someone when you meet them. So we come across with an idea, or we come across with we come across with our first impressions when we have seen people. And the next one, are you ready to check the next one also? When someone makes a
they are
big
eager and keen on, and they are waiting, of course.
So let's check it. So it means to be blown away. So when someone makes a big impact on you, so we are blown away on that person. Okay, can you remember your first impressions that when you were blown away?
Yes, it happened with my friend. She thought that I'm mean, that I am, let's say, not easygoing person. Yes, at the first stage of our friendship. But as months passed, then she totally changed her mind about me. Then she confessed. she told her first impression, and she confessed that the first impression every time cannot be right.
Okay. And the last expression, to have a particular character trait like someone, often a parent or family member. Actually, it's not a difficult one because we have already left one phrase or expression which we haven't used it. So that is means to get it from someone. Actually, I have got I have got my kindness from my mother. How about you?
So I think vice versa in my position. I think for my father.
You have got your kindness from your father.
I think yes, because he every time was so kind, and whenever he was bored even, he used to call our neighbors even, chat and show everything, make a guest, let's say, like this, so that I'm resembling.
Okay, so your father was kind and generous at the same time, yeah?
Yes.
Good job. So, and the aim of focusing on these expressions, dear listeners, making you just to use it in a context of first impression. And the next slide, and at the same time, you will watch a video later associated with these expressions. And these expressions, I use it in a video. And I hope, we hope actually, it will be very helpful for you to understand the video itself.
Hello, and welcome to Live from London, brought to you by One Stop English. Today we're in Brixton, and we're asking people about first impressions. What do you first notice about someone when you meet them?
When they walk in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know, probably their sort of like attitude. That's the first thing that I notice.
Yeah.
I judge people really quickly. It's really bad, yeah. And I make my mind up there and then, so yeah. Like I get it from my mother, so.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just make a decision. I don't really know what it is. I just get a general feeling about someone. Maybe their aura.
Are you normally right or?
Well, I've made the judgment, so I'm never there to find out if I don't like them. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's a done deal.
Because sometimes you see people and they're scruffy and they're the nicest people, or you can have the really smart person and they're obnoxious.
Yes.
You understand
So
what I
you
mean?
see beyond the persona.
Yeah.
Beyond what they look like, yeah.
It's like saying good morning. You either get a good morning back or you don't get any. Well, that won't happen again for me. I wouldn't say good morning to them again.
So you notice if people are friendly or unfriendly, I guess.
Yeah, you notice that. And it doesn't cost nothing to be courteous, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know, if they're friendly, I guess if they're smiley, like I try and ask as many questions as possible when I first see them to see if they open up quickly.
What do you think people's first impression of you might be?
That I'm bubbly and I always have a big smile on my face.
Probably my voice. It's completely pan. It's no emotion. Yeah, that really. I'm quite dry.
Yeah.
Those sorts of things.
What do you think people first notice about you?
My height.
Your height.
Or my face. I don't usually smile. I don't usually smile.
Smiling quite a lot.
No, I am now because I'm at work. I'm cool, ain't I? So on the road, you go. This is Brixton, man. I've been out here all my life, so I know how to act.
Yeah.
And we're friendly, but you can't let people take your kindness for a weakness.
What do you think people might first notice about you?
I talk a lot. I talk non-stop.
So I hope that's what they feel, that I'm approachable and I come across as a nice, sort of decent, genuine person.
I can feel it.
No.
Okay, what do you first notice about your best friend? I can remember.
My best friend now. Probably that he laughs at everything you say. Maybe that's why I like him. Because it makes me feel like I do have some sense of humour.
He laughs at you?
Yeah, basically.
He gets your dry sense of humour.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Can you remember the first thing you noticed about her?
Her eyes. She's got a really, really, really nice eyes. She was managing a hostel and I walked in and just like got blown away, sort of thing. And now we're like best mates as well. So yeah, it's cool.
And And the listeners, actually we have discussed a lot, but we are ready to give you some more examples in order to give you some more ideas how to use these expressions, those expressions which I mentioned in a previous slide, in a context. So, how about this activity named How About You? And question, do you make your mind up quickly about someone when you first meet them, Kamola?
No. Sometimes it's difficult for me, let's say, to give my first impression, because I mentioned that sometimes it can be wrong. So it became also vice versa. Firstly, I saw that one of my colleagues, let's say, was mean and totally, let's say, not so experienced person. But later, I discovered that she is totally vice versa, absolutely wrong. It was my first impression, it was absolutely wrong. Then, that she became experienced, but the way her behavior showed that she was modest person. So then, sometimes it's difficult for me to decide what kind of person is that.
So as for me, I usually kind of make my mind from my first impression. And I don't know why, but my first impression is always true.
Your first impression is every time right?
Yeah. And I think I have learned it from my granny, because she was grandmother, because she was so experienced, as you have seen in the first picture of our first slide. And she always used to tell us different stories, fairy tales, in order to teach us and to broaden our horizons. And how about you listeners? If you have any ideas, if you wanted to share your experiences with us, you are welcome to send your letters. To send your letters to my 5 channel, and we would like to read and to share this your experiences in our channels. Okay, and the next question, while answering, try to use the expressions that we have shared with you. The next one is there anyone you would say your impression of is a done deal?
So you will answer yourself to this question.
Okay, sometimes yes and sometimes no, because I told you that I usually make my mind by kind of looking at the first time, or by judging from the first impressions. And so I cannot say that it's a done deal. I didn't do it beforehand, because
was it every time right? Or was there such kind of situation that you were wrong?
Yes, there are some minor situations where I was wrong. I'm not going to best that I'm a best one, and I usually do the right decision. So all my ideas are always right. Okay, and the next question is, what do you get from your mom or dad? We have already discussed it. Lessons we would like to read or to listen your answers or your experiences or your comment via our social nets.
We will be very glad if you share with your experiences.
And the next question is, do you know anyone who talks non-stop? Kamola, do you know anyone who talks non-stop?
Yes, non-stop speakers, let's say, they can be found in debates, let's say, round table discussions, let's say, yes. And for example, as my colleague, I know you, let's say.
Oh yes, I love to talk. It's my profession to talk. And I can bring like a rappers talk non-stop. And I think I know like a Shahrukh rapper, and he talks non-stop. Thus, he's a good rapper of Uzbekistan per today. And the next one is, how do you think you come across when people first meet you?
No, it depends on situation. So if those people whom you are every time come across, they are talking to you, they are making dialogue with you, conversations, let's say it's a usual case, then it's okay. I cannot be neither nervous, let's say, or know any kind of stress. No, in any understand stress. However, in terms of authorities, let's say, or unknown people, informal kind of speech, let's say, I can be a bit embarrassed. Even it can affect on my way of speaking. Yes, a bit nervous even.
making a positive impressions from the first time of meeting is important in job interviews, especially because
Yeah, I
it's
absolutely
like
agree with you. Yes.
it's like a life decision, will you get this job or not? And of course we wanted to get high paid jobs, of course, yeah. So, and we try to do a positive impressions when we come across in this situation. And the next question, who was the last person you meet who blew you away?
So, what about your answer?
That's a difficult question, actually. Not difficult, interesting question, actually. So, dear listeners, as you see, these questions are also for you, and you may practice to give an answer to this question, which is seen on a screen, by using the expressions. And in order to start the next activity, we again wanted to focus your attention to the screen, because statements are given, and you will use these statements while watching a video. You may kind of take a screenshot, take a picture of the screen, or you may take a notes. And after, you will watch a video and try to guess whether these statements are true or false.
So they should watch the video, yes? And then as I guess that in the video, people's first impressions are described, am I right?
Yeah. And all the statements are taken from the video, and while watching the video, they need to match whether the statements are true and false.
So,
are you ready?
The audience, let's watch together.
Hello, and welcome to Live from London, brought to you by One Stop English.
So, dear listeners, we hope you have enjoyed and completed the task at the same time. Are you ready to check the right answers?
Let's check up together.
Let's check up.
In this handout, you can find out the answers. So, now you are ready to check up yourselves? Let's see how many answers are right, how many answers are not.
So, these are also questions for you, dear listeners. As you have watched it in a clip, people try to give an answer. How do they express their first impressions, or how do they make their first impressions by judging people? And if you can manage to answer to these questions, we will be very, very glad.
Hope in today's lesson you try to get a bit kind of experience for yourself by widening your knowledge, and at home you will try to practice, and don't forget to send your feedbacks and comments. We will wait in our Telegram channel your comments and feedbacks. If you have more questions, yes, you may contact the given numbers in this screen.
Okay, so thank you again. And remember, we cannot always judge people from our first impressions, and usually first impressions are lying. And I hope you are experienced on making your deal on the first impression. So, thank you for your attention.
So, see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.